Hi, and welcome to virtualsheetmusic.com and livingpianos.com. I am Robert Estrin with a really important subject today, which is, can you teach your own children music? Now that is a really loaded question because I studied with my father, Morton Estrin, and so did my sister, and we are both pianists and enjoy music today. So you'd think my quick answer would be, of course, yes, I did it, so can you. The answer isn't quite so simple. Let's explore this topic a little bit. Now, why did it work in my family, and why in so many families does it not work to teach your own kids piano or other instruments? Well, in our household, here's the way it worked. My father had a very busy career performing, recording, and teaching. And he had a very, very big teaching schedule. So Sundays, which was his day off, after we'd have brunch, we'd go downstairs and my sister and I would fight as to who could have the lesson first. And we would have our lessons on Sunday for an hour each, just like all those other students. Now, I remember growing up, there were times when I thought, boy, you know, too bad my dad doesn't treat me special or anything. After all, I'm his child and all that, and my lesson was just like everybody else. But in hindsight, that's the secret. The secret is to treat your children like every other student. Because if you try to give them preferential treatment in any way, then it becomes very difficult to maintain a unique situation. Now, there could be exceptions to this. For example, if you have taken the bull by the horns with your children and you do homeschooling with them and their entire life is structured under your control, maybe indeed you can teach the music if it's in your realm of expertise. But for most parents with busy schedules and jobs and all of that, being able to fit in those lessons, it's so easy. As it happened, I'm ashamed to say, with my own two children, who I taught piano a little bit, but really not as much as I really wanted to, because it was always kind of like, oh, let's see, oh, well, there's this fun thing to do today. Maybe we'll do the lesson tomorrow. It wasn't like a scheduled thing that we did religiously. As a result, my kids ended up really, specializing in other instruments, although they are both somewhat accomplished on piano, but it's not their primary instrument. And I realized the reason was I didn't just structure it. Why didn't I learn from my father? I didn't understand how the dynamic of how the lessons we had, regularly scheduled like everyone else, can work. So that's the secret. Now, in our household also, another thing was my father gave me the lessons, but my mother was the one who, kind of watched over us and made sure we practiced and all of that. So my father was completely uninvolved in our practicing, which is smart, because if he was right there listening all the time and giving us the lessons, it could be a little bit intimidating and difficult. And where do you draw that line? And when does he ever get free from us? Because we live in the house and we're practicing all the time between the two of us. So that's another thing to keep in mind. If you're teaching your kids, make it that one lesson time and then out of it. Not that you can't listen to them on special occasions and when company comes over and all of that, but not to be practicing with you and all of that. Give yourself some limits. Make it a workable situation in your family, and you too can have success in teaching your children music. I'd love to hear from you. Any of you have had success stories or problems in this area, feel free to contact me, and I will post some of the relevant answers and comments so others can learn from it. Thanks so much for joining me, Robert Estrin, here at virtualsheetmusic.com and livingpianos.com.